What's going on, guys? Got another knife review here for you. This is of the Buck Mayo collaboration TNT. Um, this is a knife that I had read about early on in my collecting days. So I, started to, read about Tom Mayo, and back then I wasn't all too impressed. And even, back then, I thought a Buck, TNT, they were, it was a knife out of my reach in terms of expensive. Now it's definitely a knife that I think is worth the money and all that kind of stuff. If you can find them, they're pretty. Seems to be pretty rare. They don't come up all too often. So this one came up, and I had to snag it. And especially after getting into custom blades and all that kind of stuff, to even in a small way to be a part of Tom Mayo tradition. This I think is a great collaboration that Buck has done. Buck has done collaboration between with Tom Mayo and with Strider even. They do the Buck Strider. And so, even back then, I thought that Buck and Strider were the same company. When I was learning, obviously I've wisened up to all the different details. I'm still learning as I go, but definitely over this past year and a half or so, I've learned so much from the forums and, even here on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So that aside, so here's the Buck Mayo TNT, but this is the Sprint version, or the limited edition version, which means it's got a nice carbon fiber scale on here, which I think is gorgeous. You got the classic Mayo milling, or the holes, if you will, that he does. The cool thing about Mayo is that there's no set pattern that he does on his knives, or where he places his all these holes and stuff like that. I just feel like he kind of randomly decides where how many holes he wants to put on the knife and how big he wants them, and he just goes to town on them. Sometimes you get one, sometimes you get 15. So you just never know. So this is the limited release version. Got the little certificate right here of authenticity. So this one here is 116 out of 250. So you can see that here on the blade right there. So 116 out of 250. Got the Paul Bos heat treatment, which I think he does that for Buck now. I know that he kind of stepped away from doing that for knife companies and all that kind of stuff, but seems like he's still doing that for like all the Buck Vantages and all that kind of stuff. So he did that for this knife as well. You got your S30V. There's the Tom Mayo and Buck logos. It's got a beautiful rounded edge right here. It's a thin blade, so it's probably about 0.125, maybe 1.12 inches thick blade stock. S30V. You got your stop pin right there. And then just this great hollow grind. Really well done. So near the edge bevel, it gets really thin. So this, if it was sharp, would make for a great slicer. So I haven't sharpened this one up yet. Yeah, I'm just kind of keeping this collectible for right now, deciding what I'm going to do with it. Unfortunate thing is it does come with tip down carry, which I think all the Buck Mayos come with. There are a lot of custom Mayos that I've seen that have tip up configuration, which I feel like would be, that's just me, that's my opinion. I love tip up carry. I think it would be a lot better with this pocket clip, but it is what it is. Form factor of Mayo, I just love the way that this blade sits inside the handle. Even though you have this little bit coming out, you have this little hilt, if you will, and it's, I can just see how it fits in the pocket so well and so smooth, and we just disappear in your pocket. Form factor, also is just very thin. It's 3D machined, so it's thinner at the bottom here, and then in the middle. So even though in the middle you do get a relatively thicker stock of titanium and carbon fiber, near the edges, kind of like a Strider CC concealed carry. That's kind of what you're getting, but already with a thin knife. So form factor, is very, very thin. Operation, deployment, all that kind of stuff, very smooth. Not a knife that you would really flick out. This is a gentleman's carry knife. That's kind of why I have this lineup right here with knives that I would carry for more of a gentleman carry situation. Not so much the Lambert here, but I do have it out here because basically, to me, carbon fiber, the mix of carbon fiber and titanium, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful combinations. For kind of a gentleman carry. It's very capable for hard use if you wanted to do it that way. But titanium with carbon fiber inlays, or carbon, this Kirby Lambert here, lightning strike carbon fiber scales with titanium bolsters, I just think is a stunning, it's such an awesome combination. I just think it looks so good, and the way Lambert did these fire treated bronzed screws and all that kind of stuff, it just looks amazing. This Lucas Burnley with the lightning strike carbon fiber on titanium scales, with this deep stone washed blade right here, this Quake, and it just looks awesome. The titanium pocket clip on top of the lightning strike carbon fiber. Even the Sabenzas with the micarta inlays, even though it's not carbon fiber, the dark black of the micarta, I think looks great. Obviously it's not as flashy as say the snake woods, or all those different kinds of premium wood inlays and all that kind of stuff, but just carbon fiber and titanium, man, they just do it for me. So yeah, that was pretty much the reason why I wanted to get this this particular TNT. Going back to just impressions of this TNT is, one of the biggest things about this when I pulled it out of the box. By the way, it came in this kind of cool, little wood box here, presentation box. It's kind of nice. So just to protect the knife and all that kind of stuff. This knife is so incredibly light. I've been getting used to, carrying, Hinders and, the XM18 or XM24, with my TI scales. It's a pretty it's a hefty knife. You're talking about easily, 7 ounces, 8 ounces, or something like that, especially with the titanium scale. It's, I don't know, I just got used to that size and that weight of knife, and so handling a knife that is in its 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces, maybe even less with carbon fiber, it was pretty surprising, to handle a knife that light. I think even my Martin small Tejas is heavier than this knife. Definitely the small Sabenza, is heavier than that. So, I can see how the TNT or just Mayo knives, because I hear a lot of Mayo knives are just really, really light. So I can see how these would just be so comfortable in the pocket, and just disappear in your pocket and all that kind of stuff. And so this would be just an awesome gentleman's carry knife, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to get it too, just for the potential of it being that. So the only other kind of gentleman's knife, with the Damascus and all that kind of stuff, is this Lion Steel, which I also think is just stunning. So anyway, the Buck Mayo TNT, it's a really cool, it's a sexy knife, is really what it is, with the Mayo dots and blend of carbon fiber and titanium. I think it's a pretty cool addition to the collection. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next vid.